Pero ma'am, umaasa ba kayo magkakaroon pa ng justice po ang dating Pangulo?
Yes.
Yung sa investigation sa Senate? O...
Sa Senate? Ano na lang yun? Pa-cake na lang nila.
Huwag na lang kayo maniwala ni Amy Marcos, ma'am.
Hindi ako maniwala sa kanya.
Bakit po?
Malabutong talaga, ma'am. Ayaw na pagpaniwala, ma'am. Baka matigil si VP, ma'am, ha? Pagtangka lang po.
Ano lang, para lang, tanong siya na, ano ba talaga nangyari?
VP, ma'am, huwag.
Di ba siya nakita ano nangyari?
Naantok na kami. Ano yung mga peso? Editors po. Ano yung mga peso? Masarap-harapan mo magpapakalit.
Inamin ni Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Boying Rimulya na siya ang nagbigay ng clearance para ihain ang warrant of arrest ng International Criminal Court o ICC laban kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at ihatid siya sa The Hague, Netherlands para harapin ang kasong against humanity. I will admit it that I gave the clearances to, number 1, serve the warrant of arrest as I saw it, as I deem fit. And number 2, to fly him to The Hague to be surrendered under Section 17 of Republic Act 9851. Dagdag niya.
But I have gone as far as saying, I gave the clearance.
Sa naturang pagdinig, inusisa ni na Senator Amy Marcos, chairperson ng komite, at si Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, si Philippine Center on Transnational Crime Executive Director Anthony Alcantara, at Philippine National Police or PNP Chief Police General Romel Marbil, kung sino ang nag-utos para pasakayin si Duterte sa private jet na maghahatid sa kanya sa The Hague. Sabi ni Alcantara, wala siyang kapangyarihan para ipag-utos na pasakayin sa private jet ang dating Pangulo. Anya, limitado lang ang kanyang mandato sa pag-coordinate ng mga law enforcement agency sa pag-aresto kay Duterte na requirement ng Interpol. Iginiit naman ni Marbil ang executive privilege sa pagsagot sa tanong ng mga senador. Kaya naman, sinermonan siya ng 2 senador. May I ask for executive privilege regarding this matter? Ani Marbil.
Sir, I'll invoke my executive privilege.
Giit naman ni De La Rosa. Andito na tayo, executive privilege ka pa dyan? Umalma naman si Rimulya sa tagpong ito at sinabing tila binubuli sila sa nasabing pagdinig. That's why we didn't want to attend the last hearing. This is what we are expecting. We didn't want to be bullied into opposition. Giit ng kalihim. Itinanggi naman ito ni De La Rosa at Marcos. We are not bullying you here. Ani De La Rosa. Samantala, tinangka ni Department of Justice Secretary Boying Rimulya na pakiusapan si Senadora Amy Marcos at huwag i-contempt ng komite si Special Envoy on Transnational Crime Ambassador Marcos Lacanilao. Kinausap din ni Rimulya si De La Rosa para hindi na i-contempt ang naturang opisyal.
What was the real reason for the rush? You yourself said this was an arrest with a warrant. Therefore, no reglementary period as articulated by Article 125 applies. Bakit kayo nagmamadali? Eto nga, may sakit yung tao.
Ma'am, I don't have that impression na nagmamadali ako. I waited for 12 hours. I worked for 12 hours to make sure that he boards on the plane. Yung purpose namin is to bring him to the plane because that's the order. That's my order and that's my mission. So,
who gave you the order?
Sir?
Who gave you the order?
The Chief of the Philippine National Police, sir.
The Chief PNP. You are giving orders to the CIDG. Who gave you that order?
Sir, I'll invoke my executive privilege.
Bakit executive privilege po? Paano naging executive privilege po? Nangyari na, tapos na eh. Sino nag-order?
Ano yung tanong, ma'am?
Po?
Can I know the question? Kasi before we continue, ma'am, I'd like to ask for the consideration of the body because can we have a 2 minutes break so I can just whisper to you?
I'll give you the break very, very shortly. But in the meantime, can we just finish? Oo, tapusin lang po natin tapos mag-break po tayo. Okay, si Senator Bato, please. May tinatanong yata siya kay Chief PNP. At ito ay may kinalaman sa chain of command lang naman. Pakaliwanag. Sinabi na naman ni DOJ.
That's executive privilege po. Basta usapan na po within the executive department. Hindi na ho namin pwedeng ilabas dito. I think those matters are matter of executive privilege.
Maliwanag
The decision-making process of the executive department, especially on the top level, kasama na po kami, ay executive privilege. But I have gone as far as saying, I gave the clearance.
Yes, you have.
Clearance, but not the order.
Well, it can be interpreted both ways, sir.
Well, klaruhin natin, sir. You gave the order or you gave the clearance
I gave the clearance to the SILG.
to the SILG?
Yes.
So meaning the SILG was the one who gave the orders to the Chief PNP?
Well, that's why we are citing executive privilege, because we do not want to be drawn into this long discussion.
Yes, I'm sorry it's so long, but it's also because certain witnesses have been so evasive. Arresting the president or the former president is not a quintessential and non-delegable power of the president, diba? Yun ang maliwanag sa Senate versus Ermita. Wala namang information that's not available elsewhere. Kasi pinag-usapan na ni General Torre na nautusan siya ni Chief PNP. So, ano yung problema sa executive privilege dito? Hindi naman kayo military o diplomatic corps, hindi naman diplomatic communications to ng Pilipinas at ICC. Wala naman kaming tinatanong sa ganon. Bakit hindi masagot yan? Maliwarag naman po yung Supreme Court at may limitasyon naman yung executive privilege. Tinatanong lang, sino nag-utos? Paano ba?
Ano kasi, decision-making process po ng executive department ay mahirap pong ilabas lahat ng nangyayari. Ito yung purpose of executive privilege. That's the purpose, that's the reason why this doctrine was ruled, was drawn by the Supreme Court in the different cases. Kasi
Yes,
ito
right.
ang internal deliberations po ng cabinet at top level leadership ay hindi po talaga pinag-uusapan. I think that we should give it to each other. Yung caucus po na Senate, hindi po pinag-uusapan yan. I was once as chief of staff, I witnessed a caucus of the senators, but I never spoke about it my whole life because that is the way it works.
In Senate
Kasi kung meron po naging
Secretary Remulla, in Senate versus Ermita, it's very clear that General Torre is not covered by the claim of executive privilege. Arresting a person is not a quintessential and non-delegable power of the president. It's very clear. He's not a cabinet member. He's not even the chief PNP. And it's not like this information isn't available elsewhere.
And if it's available elsewhere, then we do not need the answer from him, Madam Senator.
We will let it go. Partida na lang. Marami tayong linggo na binigay ito. Pero sana mabigyan ninyo kami ng konting linaw kung bakit nagmamadali tayo ilabas ang dating Pangulo.
Madam Chair, ang sa akin lang ito, gusto ko bigyan ng DN is not really on the arrest.
Yes.
Yung pagbiyahe talaga, yung pagsakay ng eroplano, dinala sa dahig. Okay lang restuin nyo. Dalhin ninyo sa competent court. I-surrender nyo sa RTC. Ipakulong ninyo dyan sa krami. Pero yung dinala, sinakay kaagad sa eroplano, very much premeditated na plano. Kaya gusto namin malaman kung sino nagbigay ng order. Yun lang naman ang gusto namin malaman ng committee na ito.
Again, it's covered by executive privilege, sir. I'm sorry.
Even with General Torre?
Well, it will go up to our level already.
General Torre and then
It will go up to our level already, ma'am. These are internal deliberations which do not have to be discussed in the open. which should not be discussed in the open at all.
Executive session?
I do not believe in executive sessions, sir, because
Yes.
I've experienced it here and in the House. Habang nag-executive session, may lumalabas na information, kaya wag na lang po.
Yung covered ng executive privilege. Kasi baka mamaya, yung patrolman na imbestigahan namin dito next time, hihingi ng executive privilege. So gusto ko lang sana kung meron kang may ma-share sa amin na opinion, sir, as to this matter. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, you recognize Justice Ascuna. We need your help.
Your Honors, when we were drafting the Constitution, present Constitution, we were thinking of adopting some portions of a parliamentary system, like the question hour, so that the members of the cabinet will be obliged to answer questions before committees of Congress. But we could not agree on the specifics, I think, but there is some element of the parliamentary system that we're able to introduce. But we also acknowledge, because we follow the presidential system, executive privilege. So we have a question hour. You can oblige members of the cabinet to appear before you, but they can also claim executive privilege. Now, whether sub-cabinet levels can invoke the privilege, I think they can if they do so as representatives of their cabinet members. In other words, what you cannot do directly, you cannot do indirectly. So if you cannot question the cabinet member, you cannot get the answer by questioning his undersecretary, in my view. So it depends whether or not the question really is something that pertains to the work, sensitive work of the cabinet member.
Thank you, sir.
To your mind, sir, the orders to the Chief PNP, therefore, are executive privilege. Is that correct?
They partake of functions that pertain to national security, so they might be subject to privilege. It is, I think, in case of doubt, we should decide in favor of the privilege because of the because of the presidential system that we have. So the parliamentary elements are an exception. So in case of doubt, you decide in favor of the rule against the exception.
That's right. Thank you, Honorable Ascuna. And perhaps we go to another topic, and that is that as important as the details of the actual arrest of PRRD are the events which took place prior to this. Firstly, the Quadcom hearings, the arrival of the ICC personnel in the country, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, the DOJ task force and case buildup. Let's tackle them in chronological order. The Quadcom started in August, and among the most important witnesses discovered by the Quadcom were those testimonies of Reina Garma and Leonardo. Is that right? That became a pivotal prosecutor. Would you like to assay an opinion? Mahalaga po yun, yung dalawa, no?
Yes. Again, good afternoon, Madam Chair.
Yes,
you are correct, Madam Chair, in pointing out that Reina Garma was one of those witnesses called in the Quadcom committee hearing, and her testimony in that Quadcom committee was one of the more important highlights of the investigation. There were other witnesses who were called, I believe.
I think the Leonardo testimony was also very crucial.
That is correct, Madam Chair.
And they identified an individual called Muking Peter Parungo, among others. Is that correct? With a bank account where allegedly the incentives to policemen were deposited.
I believe that was mentioned, Madam Chair.
Yes, okay, and SOJ thereafter urged the DOJ to cooperate and assist with the Quadcom in providing all the testimonies necessary. Is that correct, Secretary Remulla?
Yes, ma'am. And in fact, we have written communication with each other on
Oh,
this
is
matter.
that so? I'm
Yes.
only aware of the Department Order 778.
No, but with the Quadcom, it was a formal turnover of documents.
I see. The former president also appeared at the Quadcom noong November. Di ba napunta din siya dyan? Further, ICC personnel also have been coming to the Philippines. Is that not correct?
I have no knowledge of that. I have no personal knowledge, ma'am.
Yes, in the transcript of the first hearing, I believe you said that you have no knowledge that, as a matter of fact, labas-pasok. Parang ganun yung sinabi nyo, labas-pasok ang mga dayuhan sa Pilipinas, di natin alam kung sino-sino na yan. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Nasabi ba yan?
Oo, tama po yan.
Oo,
Tumpak po.
tama ba yung sinabi ninyo dati?
Opo, yun po sinabi ko.
Okay, pwede ba natin ipakita yung binigay ng Bureau of Immigration na nagsidatingan yung ICC personnel noong October ng last year. Ang unang dumating ay isang interpreter na ang balita may koneksyon sa Pilipinas, Maya Destura Bracken, US citizen, dumating ng October 4, interpreter ng ICC. May dumating na hindi ko sigurado kung narito pa kasi ang balita umiikot dito sa iba't ibang luxury hotels. William Rosato, ang balita British siya, dumating October 15, abogado ng ICC. Hindi naman po sikreto to kasi nung hinanap ko yung mga pangalan, nandun naman at naka-LinkedIn na ICC sila. Nandito sila sa Pilipinas, yung flight details narito. Andito rin yung si Mr. Kasam, Canadian, dumating dito at siya rin ay security expert. Ganon din, dumating rin dito Mr. Kala, British, October 24, investigador. Hindi po ninyo alam to, parang natanggap ko lang to sa Bureau of Immigration, sa pagkaintindi ko nasa ilalim po ninyo.
Nung panahon na yun, ma'am, I had a gallbladder operation. So, I was indisposed for around 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
October po.
October. Opo.
Pero hanggang ngayon, nandito pa raw o kaaalis lamang. Halimbawa, si Mr. William Rosato. Mula October hanggang very recently yata, o baka narito pa. Nababalitaan ko umiikot dito
Wala akong nag-advise sa akin.
So,
At hindi ko naman kasi tinatanong na, sapagkat ang paniniwala ko talaga, labas-pasok lang ho talaga lang ang mga tao sa atin. At hindi naman pwedeng tanongin kung ICC sila o hindi.
Hindi naman pangkaraniwang tao to Talagang ICC investigator to. So, walang pake ang DOJ, hindi kayo interesado, ICC nang pinag-uusapan.
Ano ho yan unless meron po silang naging atraso sa bansa at meron silang ginawang illegal, ay wala ho tayong magagawa dahil sinusubukan po nating igalang talaga ang karapatan ng lahat.
Sinasabi ninyo na ganun, subalit mukhang may proposed agenda sila para magbigay ng mga dokumento, affidavit, mga post-mortem record. Somebody clearly arranged for their accommodations and transport, hindi po ba? Alam nga naman, nag-grab car yan, o 3 sakay ng jeep para umabot sa batasan. Kasi sa batasan sila di ba? Alam nga naman na alam nila, mga British, mga American, nakakakuha sila ng dokumento sa mga presinto. Hindi nga namin makuha, mga senador kami.
Ano ho kasi, ang mga dayuhan po na kagaya po nila, sa nationalities nila, visa-free po yan for 30 days.
Oo, alam kong visa-free, pero alam nila pumunta sa iba't ibang presinto sa Caloocan, alam nila hagilapin yung mga tao sa Batasan Hills, at higit sa lahat, tinulungan sila ng pulis para kumuha ng mga PNP documents. May alam ba kayo, General Torre, Chief Marbil?
Malamang po, kung tatanungin niyo po ako dyan, kung may alam akong maaring tumutulong sa kanila, marahil may kilala po akong tumutulong sa kanila. Isang pari po na matagal ko ng kaibigan na tumutulong sa kanila.
Hindi, kasi ang liwaliwanag, andito sa screen, hinihingi nila yung mga testigo, yung documentation, mga police blotter, mga ebidensya. Hindi yan binibigay sa miski sinong turistang tumatambay. Tinulungan talaga sila, di ba?
Hindi po ang DOJ ang tumutulong sa kanila.
Sino kaya ang tumutulong? Baka naman si Chief PNP Marbil, alam niyo kung sino tumulong. Dahil nakakuha sila pati mga ospital, nakadali sila ng mga confidential records kung sino-sino ang DOA na dumating sa East Avenue. Sinong tumulong sa kanila para hagilapin lahat ito? Kasi hindi naman makapanipaniwala isang British, Canadian, Amerikano, nakakaikot sila, sisipot sila sa presinto, ibibigay ng pulis lahat ng dokumento.
Marami ho kasing civil society organizations na tumutulong talaga sa kanila.
Di ba yan din nga ang reklamo nila, hindi sila binibigyan ng dokumento ng pulis? Baka si Chief Marbil, may alam po ba kayo? Bakit binibigay lahat itong hinihingi?
Madam
Police
Chair.
blotter, seized evidence, radio transmissions. Naku, talaga, tactical operations na to, ang bigat Tapos yung drug operation details, total number during the time period. Yan ang hiningi nila sa Batasan Hills Tapos ibinigay naman. Ba't po nagkaganon? Kadali-dali sa kanila.
Madam Chair,
Hirap na hirap po kami dito sa Senado kumuha ng mga ebidensya katulad niyan.
Madam Chair, during my time as Chief of the Philippine National Police, I have no request coming from the ICC to give any information regarding this matter.
Si Executive Director Alcantara, alam po ninyo na may humihingi ng kung ano-anong papeles? ICC, nagtanong ba sila? Meron pang bank records di ba? May bank
I'm sorry,
secrecy
Madam,
tayo.
I am not privy to any of
All these requests. Hindi nakakapagtaka kasi yung agenda na ibinigay ng ICC na pagkatagal-tagal nila rito at saka detalyado to, hindi biro-biro, Police Station 6, Batasan Hills, QC. Lahat ng blotter, seized evidence, etc. Paano nila na-pinpoint yung ICC, na-pinpoint yung Police Station 6 sa Batasan Hills? Ang galing naman po nila, kararating pa lang sila sa Pilipinas, alam na nila lahat ng lugar.
I think it's the Committee on Human Rights before the Quadcom that came out with the Station 6 reports. If I recall it right, I think it was Congressman Abante who was chairing that hearing.
Tinulungan daw sila ng Colonel Romil Abenido, tao yata ni General Torre, tama ba yun? Doon sa Batasan Hills, sa Station 6, nung QCPD daw kayo, tao ninyo, tama ba yun?
Madam Chair, in the next hearing, can we require the presence of that Colonel Abenido?
Kasi yun ang tinuturo at yun ang nabanggit ng ICC. Kilala po ba ninyo si Colonel Romil Abenido po, General Torre?
Romil Avenido is the station commander of Police Station 1 when I was the QCPD District Director, ma'am. He was transferred to Station 6.
That's right.
I'm not the District Director already.
That's right. He was then transferred to Station 6. And you can't just walk into a police station and start demanding all sorts of documents. And who liaised with them? Sinong nagbantay sila sa kanila? Alam ko na may mga magagandang sasakyan sila. Paikot-ikot sila. May security pa sila. Ang balita, police pa nga nagbabantay. So siya rin ba yan, Chief PNP?
Madam Chair, during my time, I have no request coming from the ICC or any from, so I have no idea about it.
Sinasabi nyo during my time, kailan ba kayo naging Chief PNP?
Ma'am, April 2024.
Oo, ito October 2024, yung iba na natili rito hanggang, palagay ko yung iba aalis lang o kundi narito pa. Matagal sila, so it's Chair, during your time po.
That is already during his time.
It's very much your
October
time.
na yun
Madam Chair, with that, I have no idea and have no request coming from the ICC po.
But sino nagbigay ng security? Na police?
Sir, I have practically no idea po, sir.
Sigurado po kayo. Kasi nakakuha rin sila ng medical records, may financial records, police records, forensic evidence. Medical records are confidential, alam naman natin lahat yan. Paano nila nakukuha lahat yan, pati CCTV? Paano nila nakuha? At very precise ang pagkakuha, ang dali-dali. Sinong tumulong sa ICC sa palagay ninyo? Wala ba kayong suspecha o alam kung sino?
Ma'am, Madam Chair, we will just investigate, but I have really no idea regarding this matter.
Si General Torre, pinuno ng CIDG. Siguro alam niya, kapag may tao na nagtatanong sa mga presinto, sa mga ospital, hindi ka ba magdududa, mga dayuhan pa man din? Hindi ka ba magtataka na patanong-tanong? Siyempre, alamin mo, ano ba nangyayari dyan? Ba't nakikialam? Hindi mo ba naramdaman na andito na yung mga dayuhan, tanong na ng tanong, ang dami-daming hinihinging ebidensya. Sino tumulong sa kanila?
That is why, Madam Chair, I move that at certain Colonel Abinido be required to be present in the next hearing.
Ganon. At may nababalitaan kami, may Mark Diskay daw na alalay nila, tapos nasa 5-star hotel sa Raffles, at madalas sa Maidas, at doon nagtatrabaho, maraming presidential suite, sunset suite, at kung ano-ano, 5 to 6 security daw na provide ng ating kapulisan, at 4 to 5 na mga tsuper na nag-i-standby. Tapos umiikot sila, may mga escort pa sila na Pilipino, at ang balita ko, nagka-problema pa sila dahil doon sa Forbes Park may umihi yata at nagalit yung mga kapitbahay. Kaya ako lang narinig to kasi mga VIP daw, kaya hindi daw pwedeng guluhin. Wala kayong nababalita ang ganyan? Yung tungkol sa pagtitipon, pagkakaladkad sa iba't ibang testigo dyan sa Maidas Hotel, may mga important individuals, mga VIP rin, na ini-interview nila 3 oras minsan. Hindi rin niyo napapansin.
Madam Chair, I have no idea regarding this matter.
May balita na si dating Senador Trillanes, may ganun din. Si Ambassador Lacanilao, meron ba kayo alam dito? Kasi hindi rin namin alam to. May alam ba kayo kung sino ang tumulong sa ICC?
Wala ma'am, wala ma'am. Wala ho akong knowledge regarding sa ICC on their dito status nila dito o kung
So walang may alam kung sino tumulong sa ICC. Pero tinulungan sila ng todo. At sigurado ako na may suspecha siguro tayo. Sinong tumulong sa ICC? Andyan yung NSC, laki-laki ng budget sa Intel. May Intel funds AFP, may Intel funds lahat ng PNP. Ang laki ng confidential fund, Office of the President, may NICA. Sa lahat nito, sa bilyon-bilyon na inaalat namin sa confidential and intelligence fund, hindi ninyo naramdaman kailanman na nandito na yung ICC October pa na nakaraang taon. Tama po ba? Walang may alam sa anuman, sa ating DOJ, sa ating PNP, CIDG, higit sa lahat. Wala kayong nakikita kahit kinukunan na tayo ng kung ano-anong ebidensya at mga confidential papers. Wala kayong alam.
Madam Chair, for the PNP, we didn't get any request coming from ICC to help them regarding the evidence that they need.
Okay, tignan natin. Sige, let's head on. Una, may Quadcom. Ikalawa, yung Senate Blue Ribbon. Ikalawa, yung ICC mismo, napunta rito. Ikatlo, meron pang Senate Blue Ribbon. Naalala nyo, napunta rito si Presidente Duterte noong October at nagtestigo. Kaya lang, walang sumipot kina Garma, Leonardo at Kerwin Espinosa. Diba? Yun yung nangyari sa Senate Blue Ribbon. Maliban doon, ikaapat, may DOJ case build-up. At naaalala ko, eto na naman yung memo natin na nagkaroon ng task force on 4 November, already alluded to by our prosecutor, to cooperate with the Quadcom. Am I citing this correctly, Prosecutor Fadulyon, please.
What we have, Madam Chair, was a department order issued by the Secretary of Justice creating the task force which would look into the investigation which was being undertaken by the Quadcom at the time, and following the leads and working with the law enforcement authorities to try and come up with the possibility of reviving these old or cold cases. So yun po yung department order na nag-create noon, at binigyan po sila ng 6 na pong araw base dun sa unang department order na nilabas para mag-submit ng kanilang initial findings.
Dumating dito yung ICC October, biglang-bigla, November 4, nagkaroon kayo ng task force. Ang ICC ba ay humingi ng tulong sa DOJ?
Wala po. Categorically, I will say, Madam Chair, na wala pong lumapit na taga-ICC sa amin, sa Department of Justice, para humingi ng tulong patungkol dito sa mga investigasyon na ginagawa namin.
At hindi naman kayo nag-volunteer na tulungan yung mga ICC na
wala
narito?
po kaming maibo-volunteer kasi hindi naman po namin alam kung sinong kakausapin, at wala po nakipag-ugnayan sa amin.
Kasi may ibang nagsasabi that the task force was supposed to pick up where the ICC could possibly have left off. Tama ba yun?
Hindi po. Ang sinundan po ng task force dyan, tulad po ng binanggit ko kanina, yung mga resulta ng investigasyon at impormasyon na nakuha at nakalap ng ating Quadcom Committee. So katulad po nun, halimbawa yung kaso ni Barayuga, so sinundan po yon base doon sa testimony nila Garma, and then meron pa hong tiningnan na ibang leads doon, at doon po sila nagsimula magtanong at kumausap ng mga testigo on their own. Wala po silang coordination with the ICC.
So, ang coordination lang ninyo, katulad ng binanggit ni Secretary Remulla kanina, yung Quadcom, yung Senate, yung binabanggit sa 778, yung CHR, at yung iba pang PNP, Witness Protection, yung iba pang ahensya ng ating pamahalaan. Tama po ba?
Tama po yan, Madam Chair.
So, sa panahong to, meron ng 3 separate bodies trying to pin down PRRD. May Quadcom, may ICC, may DOJ Task Force, may ika-4 pa, yung Senate. So, 4 na sila.
Yung DOJ Task Force was really to check on EJ case, period. Wala ho kaming aim of pinning down PRRD. Wala ho yan, hindi ho totoo yan.
Pero EJK ang tinutumbok, kaya siya nagtestigo sa Quadcom, di po
Opo,
ba?
opo. Kasi, ma'am, karapatan po ng bawat Pilipinong maghanap ng hustisya. Kahit mahirap sila, kahit wala silang station in life, pag sila ho ay naapi, naghahanap po ng hustisya. Kaya kung meron ho silang nilapitan na taong nakakausap namin, syempre pinakikinggan po namin. At yung mga tao mismo na nangangailangan ng tulong, sinisikap po naming tulungan.
Siyempre, hindi natin pinagkakait ang karapatan ng bawat isa. Matanda man, bata man, mahirap man, mayaman man, talagang pantay-pantay tayo sa harap ng batas. Kaya lang, nagtataka ako kasi napakarami na ng investigasyon, patong-patong. Meron pang CHR, di po ba? At in-interview si Richard Palpalawatok ng DOJ Task Force. Nasa inyong record yata, Laila De Lima, Nery Colmenares. Tama po ba? Na-interview yan ng DOJ.
Opo, opo.
Ano nangyari at bakit po na-interview?
Sila po ay in-interview batay po dun sa, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, yung mga lumabas po dun sa Quadcom hearings, ma'am. So,
pinagtatakaan lang namin dahil hindi naman sila victim o testigo o kamag-anak ng alleged victim ng EJK. Ang pagkakilala ko lang sa kanila, katunggali ni PRRD, yun lang.
If I may answer, ma'am, no? Yung may mga binanggit kayong pangalan, katulad po ni Richard Palpalatok, binanggit niyo rin po si Senator Laila De Lima. Maaring tama po kayo dun sa inyong sinabi.
May nagsabi lang sa DOJ at nakita ko may anunsyo yata sa inyong website somewhere.
Oho, pero hindi lamang po sila ang kinausap. Marami po ang kinausap. Andiyan po yan si Father Flavie Villanueva. Bakit po siya kinausap? Dahil meron po siyang mga grupo ng mga naging biktima ng karahasan na kinausap at kailangan makausap ng ating mga prosecutors. Andiyan din po si PNP Chief Romel Marbil na kinausap din po namin upang kami po ay mabigyan ng ang tawag nito, impormasyon hinggil dun sa mga kaso na gustong tingnan at imbestigahan hinggil sa EJK. So, ito po ay kinausap upang makunan po ng leads para kung meron pong mga kaso na gustong isampa na walang ebidensya noon, maari pong buhayin.
Kahit hindi sila yung biktima, hindi sila yung pamilya, o hindi sila testigo sa anumang krimen.
Opo, kasi kahit na anong impormasyon po na makuha namin ay tinuturing po namin mahalaga at makakatulong po doon sa investigasyon na gagawin po ng task force.
So, ibig sabihin, nung end of the year ng nakaraan, meron ng legal team daw ng DOJ drafting a complaint for murder under RA 9851 for the deaths of 3 persons in the Davao Prison and Penal Farm. In coordination nga ito doon sa Quadcom.
I'm not so particular, ma'am. I can get that information kung meron na pong complaint na na-prepare. No? Pero malalaman po natin, sa ngayon po, wala pa pong naisasampa sa amin, sa pagkakaalam ko. Pero kung meron na pong preparation yung task force, I'm sure they will submit it to us po.
Ma'am, we found it necessary. Kinailangan po magtayo kami ng task force for EJ case. Sapagkat nung turn over sa amin ng Quadcom yung kanilang mga findings, we could not rely on them for being just incomplete. Kasi hindi ho talaga kompleto to make a case. Kaya kailangan po i-case build up. That's the reason why we put up the task force, ma'am.
Pero ang balita ko, at may nakita akong draft na March 6, yung task force ninyo humihingi pa ng 60 days para matapos yung investigasyon. Pero hindi binigay itong request na to. March 6 to kung 60 days, abot pa tayo ngayon. Was the DOJ aware that the ICC was going to issue a warrant already, so 60 days was unnecessary?
Hindi po, hindi ho kasama sa usapan niya kasi yung 60 days po,
yung
kaya po sabi ho sa akin na isang prosecutor, sumulat siya sa akin, yan po verbally ho, sinabihan ko pwede na naman extend na 60 days. Kasi nga, mahirap po talaga magagilap ng mga kaso na matagal na ho nangyari. Ang sabi ko nga nung isang beses, wala nga mga police report, wala nga mga blatter ang marami. Para mahirap ho itong trabaho namin na gumawa ng kaso at
palibhasa nga napakahirap at saka mga cold case na yan at nakaraan na yung taon-taon, bakit pinagpilitan at hindi binigay yung 60 days na hinihiling?
Hindi, binigay po namin ng 60 days. Kaya lang hindi na kami sumulat. Ito'y verbal na lang.
Pero March 6, 60 days, aabot pa yan ng ilang buwan? Yes, Prosecutor Fadulion. March 6 yung sulat
Yes, kung ako po'y pahihintulutan ninyo. Ito po yung naka-flash dito sa screen ngayon, Madam Chair. That is a bogus document. That is not a real document because there is no such document which contains exactly what is highlighted there. Yan po ang totoo. Ang meron po kami...
So, saan galing yan? Sino si Abugan?
Herbert Calvin Abugan is the OIC Senior Deputy State Prosecutor of the Department of Justice. He heads the task force.
So totoong tao siya?
Totoong tao po siya.
Totoong tao
po siya. Yung dokumento po ang hindi totoo. Dahil sa, kung titingnan niyo po, Madam Chair, wala hong pirma yan. Kung yan po ay totoong memorandum na nakalusot at nakarating dun sa kinauukulan, dapat po pirmado yan.
So binaliwala na lang to at para sa ating lahat, sinasabi niyo peke to.
Manufactured po ito kasi po pinaghalo-halo nila yung nilalaman po niyan. Yung sinasabi po ninyong hinihingi na extension na 60 days, kaya nga po, hindi nga po totoo yung dokumento. Pero ang hinihingi pong extension na 60 days, kasi dun po sa unang department order na ginawa ni Secretary Boying, 60 days lamang po ang taning na binigay sa kanila para magsimula sila ng investigasyon. Kulang po yung panahon na yon, kaya po sila humingi ng karagdagan. Now, part of those that are indicated in that document, no, na sinasabi naming non-existing, ang tanging dokumento na nilabas namin ay yung pinadala po namin sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, updating the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee on March 6, 2025 of the events that happened in...
So yun, tama yun.
Opo.
At hindi 60 days ang hinihingi. Walang ganon.
Wala po kaming binabanggit na 60 days doon po sa sulat.
So yun binigay ninyo sa Senate?
Yes, Madam Chair.
So, ang tinatanong ko lang, sa dinami-dami ng investigasyon, may task force pa ang DOJ, bakit yung DOJ hindi na lang nag-conduct ng sariling investigasyon? Imbes na nag-ICC pa at kung ano-ano pa. Nag-task force naman kayo. May Quadcom pa, may Senate pa, di ba?
Tama po.
Ang sinasabi ko, lahat ng ebidensya, dokumento, testigo nang galing sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Lahat ng pangyayari ay nasapit dito sa Pilipinas. Ang buong kaso ng ICC sa ebidensya at testigo ibinigay ng Pilipinas. Bakit di na lang ang admin ang nagsampa ng kaso kay Presidente Duterte sa husgadong Pilipino? Takot ba tayo sa dating Pangulo? Wala ba tayong kumpiyansa sa ating mga huwes, sa ating mga husgado? Laban lang, alamin natin ang katotohanan. Bumalik tayo sa PCTC. Nabanggit po ninyo, Executive Director, na sangkatutak ang pinadalan mo ng kopya nitong diffusion order, nitong CPNP, PNP natin, NBI, BI, DOJ. Pinadalhan rin ba ninyo yung Special Envoy on Transnational Crime?
Hindi po siya nasa pinadalang ko.
Si Ambassador Lacanilaw, hindi niya
wala po siyang
natanggap to. Ano ba ang papel ng Special Envoy sa transnational crime? Very familiar po kami sa PCTC kasi yung batas niyan na kami ang nag-akda. Ang tanong ko lamang, ano ba ang papel ng Special Envoy? Kasi
Special
dati kayo
Envoy po
din
natin,
Special Envoy.
the good ambassador is a representative of our country in several international fora representing the interest of the Philippines. He has, to a certain extent, diplomatic stature and can
ambassador nga ang titulo po ninyo.
Totoo po yun.
Ambassador ka rin nung Special Envoy kayo?
Nung araw po,
General Alcantara.
Opo.
Ambassador rin po
Nung araw po ay ako'y ambassador din at concurrent in charge of PCTC.
Kasi ang pagkaintindi ko, hiwalay yung Special Envoy. Hindi siya directly under PCTC, tama po ba?
Ang Special Envoy po ay nakakatulong sa akin dahil nababawasan po yung trabaho ko to represent our country.
Para hindi ka biyahe ng biyahe.
Medyo totoo po yan, totoo yun.
Okay, so Ambassador, hindi kasi namin masyadong kabisado yung posisyon ninyo. Saan ang opisina ninyo?
Madam Chair, ang office ho namin, the same with the PCTC, same building ho kami. Paliwanag ko lang ho ng short yung opisina din ho namin. Ang Special Envoy ho for Transnational Crime, ang Philippine Center of Transnational Crime, which is the Interpol NCV Manila, sila po yung aming secretariat at yung operational partner.
So may opisina po kayo? Wala?
Meron po, nasa taas po kami.
Ilan ang tauhan nyo?
If I'm not mistaken, around 15.
And then kasama ninyo sa pag-representar sa Pilipinas sa iba't ibang lugar?
Opo.
So, kung hindi sa ilalim ng PCTC, ang Special Envoy, aling department kayo?
Sorry, Madam Chair.
Hindi naman kayo PCTC, so aling department kayo? DFA?
Hindi po. Ang amin pong opisina, OSETC and PCTC, are all under the Office of the President.
Pero hiwalay, kasi hindi naman kayo under the PCTC, ano?
Hindi po. Ang PCTC po ang aming secretariat. Sila po yung operational arm namin.
What are the functions? Like you said earlier, you represent the Philippines in different fora, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I see. What is the role that you actually played in the arrest of PRRD and his transport to The Hague? Anong papel po ninyo doon? Kasi lumalabas yung pangalan ninyo sa resibo at yung pag-turnover. Staff, ipakita lamang. Ito, yung transfer of custody, surrender and transfer. Andyan po. At kayo po ang nakapirma. At alam ito ni Secretary Senator Cayetano. Bakit kayo ang nakapirma? Ano po yung papel ninyo ron?
Ganito po yan. Ma'am, I was there to oversee the smooth arrest of the former president. Now,
so, nandun kayo sa Villamor?
Opo, makikita nyo naman po dun sa mga videos na lumabas.
Hindi ko po maalala kasi hindi ko kilala yung mga taong
Opo.
doon.
Ngayon, doon naman ho
Madam
sa...
Chair, excuse me, Madam Chair.
Senator Bato, please.
Since when naging function ng special envoy yung pag-oversee ng operations? Ng pag-aristo?
Kasi,
I'm sure, special envoy ka, trabaho mo is outside. Envoy ka doon para mag-represent. Pero when it comes to operational matters, kailan naging trabaho mo yung pag-oversee ng operations?
Hindi po ako nag-oversee ng operations. Yun lang hong sitwasyon dahil ang PCTC ay ang aming Secretariat and Operational Arm.
Not even the PCTC, I suppose. Because PCTC is, sila lang nagkukontrol ng NCB.
Yes,
diba?
Opo.
O, sila nagkukontrol ng Secretariat.
Opo.
Pero
Sila po yung Secretariat namin.
Pagdating sa Interpol, halimbawa, ganito, meron tayong General Assembly ng Interpol. Sino nag-head of delegation?
PCTC.
PCTC?
PCTC.
Ikaw, General Marbil, hindi ka pa ba nag-attend ng national, yung General Assembly ng Interpol?
Sir, umattend po last year po.
Last year?
Opo.
So, sinong head of delegation?
Ang nandun po si General Alcantara pong kasama po namin.
Because when I was the Chief PNP, lahat ng ang head of delegation, yung Chief PNP. Tapos, head of delegation ng ibang bansa, yung uniform talaga na police agency ng kanilang lugar. Kaya yun yung alam ko kasi yung PCTC naman is NCB lang ito. Sila yung NCB, pero when you say police agency, Chief PNP talaga ang head niya, di ba? At nagkakaroon ng General Assembly, kayo ang nandoon, di ba?
Actually, sir, dun sa ibang country, sir, ang police lang, ang isa lang po ang law enforcement nila. So, usually ang the head is the chief ng national police nila. But in our country, we have so many law enforcement agencies coming from the NBI, the Philippine National Police, of course, ang kasama po namin immigration.
Kasi makita mo, di ba? Pag Interpol General Assembly, hawak kamayan lahat ng mga chief ng puro uniformado yan puro mga chief ng police agency nila, di ba?
Kaya nakakagulat sa dinami-dami ng police agency na sinabihan ni General Alcantara sa NBI, si Chief PNP, sabi rin ni General Torre, bakit biglang civilian at hindi kasali sa law enforcement ang nag-oversee? Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng oversee?
Ma'am, kasi nga ang PCTC is our partner, our secretariat. I was there to oversee lang the PCTC, which is which is the Interpol NCB Manila.
Madam Chair.
Teka muna, nalilito ako, di ba, nandun ka? Bakit alam mo nang itatangay sa ibang bansa?
Hindi po.
Anong ginagawa mo doon? Na-serve na, nabigay na yung kopya sa lahat. Anong ginagawa mo doon? Anong ginabangan mo?
I was there to assist the executive director, ma'am.
Was the executive director in Villamor?
Naroon po ako. I was in the plane and I was in the 250 in Villamor.
Even without a red notice, nandun na kayo, nag-aabang na.
I had a red diffusion po.
Yes, but the diffusion, we have already said ad infinitum that this is not an arrest warrant, di ba?
Yes.
Paliwanag na yun.
Tama po yun.
Paliwanag
We had the red diffusion. I had to carry it.
Request for information lang, di ba?
Hindi po. Ang red diffusion po is a request, is an international request for international cooperation or an alert. Ang red notice po ay ganon, ang diffusion po ay ganon din, pareho lang po.
Ganon nga. Kaya nga.
Yung diffusion po is resorted to if there is urgency, importance, element of time, kaya po nagiging diffusion.
Hindi, ang liwanag naman, action to be taken, locate lang locate lang, and possibly arrest with a view to extradition. So, mahaba pang proseso.
Ma'am, can I clarify?
Yes, Senator.
Pa-clarify lang, factual lang, Ambassador Lacanlao. So, you were there to oversee?
Yes,
You
Mr. Senator.
when you say there, you were in Villamor.
The airport.
Okay.
The airport.
Then, did you accompany them on the plane?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Senator.
And then, did you stay in the Netherlands?
Yes, I stayed there for 2 days.
Okay, and hindi mo alam na dadalhin siya doon?
Hindi po. Can I make a clarification? That time, nung...
Pwede ko lang itanong, isang hirit lang. Wala ka sa listahan na binigay ni General Alcantara, yung mga nabigyan ng diffusion notice, ano? Wala ka doon sa listahan ng NBI, Chief PNP, wala ka doon sa listahan. Paano man nalaman?
I was informed informally by Executive Director Alcantara.
Informally.
Apo.
So you were also there informally. You had no formal function at the Villamor or the airport sites?
I was there to oversee, ma'am, lang the PCTC. Hanggang PCTC lang po ako. Yun
Okay.
lang po yung aking...
Can I clarify that?
Yes.
So, sabi mo kanina, you were there to oversee. I'll clarify what oversee means. But sabi mo, hindi mo alam na dadalhin siya sa Hague. Pero yet, sumakay ka ng aeroplano, sumama ka, you stayed in the Hague 2 days.
Yes.
And sabi mo, hindi ka alis, nandun ka lang.
Okay, can I
Yes,
explain,
yes.
Mr. Senator? That time ho kasi, the members or the staff of the Interpol NCV Manila, wala hong available na mga kasamahan natin doon na may passport na ready. So, I volunteered, Mr. Senator. I just want to make clear.
Magsiserve lang kayo ng diffusion? May dala ka pang passport?
Hindi po. Hindi po.
Kasasabi mo lang yung iba walang passport. Ikaw lang yung may passport, may visa.
Opo.
Kaya alam mo na itatangay sa ibang bansa.
Hindi po. Yung passport po, nasa sasakyan ko lang parati So, kagagaling ko lang po kasi ng Geneva. Kakauwi ko lang ho ng Geneva that time. So, kaya ho yung passport ko, nasa sasakyan ko lang. Hindi pa ho ako nakakapag-unload.
Okay. I was gonna ask that na kung hindi mo alam na dadalhin doon, pero sumama kayo sa 2 days, tapos may passport ka, but nasa kotse mo passport, okay. But you volunteered to accompany, why?
To accompany the former president.
Because kailangan, what was the reason? Sabi mo, yung mga kasamahan mo, walang passport.
Hindi po. Wala po akong sinabing kasamahan ko walang passport. Ang wala pong passport that time, yung mga PCTC members, ma'am, na supposed to be sasama din that time. Wala hong silang available noon.
So were you appointed representative of the PCTC?
Yes.
Were you appointed representative of the Interpol in the Philippines?
That time, I was appointed, yes.
Who appointed you?
The PCTC, Your
So,
Honor.
can the on that day?
Yes, sir.
So, buuin natin kayo lang mga militar at police nakakaintindi ng 3-4 na letra Yung Philippine Center for Transnational Crime. Sir, can you appoint the representative ng Interpol on the spot? Kasama sa powers yon. If I check with Interpol, so kung today, pwedeng ako representative ng Interpol?
Para pong hindi yata kasama sa function ko yun.
Well, kakasabi lang ho ni Ambassador, kayo daw nag-appoint sa kanya.
Po sabi niya
So, but you're saying it's not.
Ito nga maintindihan.
So hindi niyo po
no. Kasi he is a competent authority.
Yeah, let's you're under oath, sir. Did you or did you not appoint him as representative?
The ambassador is a competent authority to represent us.
But you did not appoint him.
Hindi question if he's a competent.
Hindi ka appointing authority. Klaro po yun. Executive Order 265, saan sa buong executive order na nagtatakda na magkaroon ng special envoy, sinasabi na meron kang papel para mag-oversee. Wala kasi akong mabasa katulad ni Senator Cayetano
Madam Chair, yun nga po yung relasyon ho namin ng OSETC and PCTC, sila yung aming secretariat and operational.
Sekretarya lang ninyo, siya pang appointing ninyo.
Hindi
parang
po,
ang gulo.
hindi po.
Boss ba ninyo yan or utusan?
Hindi po, clear ko lang ho. Kasi that time, wala hong available na members ng PCTC anang may passport noon. So, kaya ho sinabi ko kanina, I volunteered para ho i-accompany ang former president in behalf of the PCTC.
Okay, ma'am, can I clarify I'm not going into the supervision, the your appointment as special envoy because depende sa presidente, pwedeng iba, di ba? Kahit presidential advisor, if the president has special advisor on justice, then it's between the president, Secretary Remulla, etc. Ang focus ko doon sa ikaw ang representative ng Interpol. Kasi sabi mo, yes, ang sabi po ni Secretary Alcantara, hindi kanya in-appoint. So, sino nag-appoint sa iyo bilang representative ng Interpol?
Nirepresent ko po ang PCTC.
May I clarify?
Yeah, go ahead,
Mr.
sir.
Senator. Kasi, traditionally, ang executive director is also the envoy. Ngayon, pinaghiwalay po yung posisyon. Yung ginawa po ng Malacanang, hiniwalay po yung posisyon ng special envoy at ng executive director. Pero dati ho, isa lang yan.
Yeah. But lihis doon, Sec, sabi kasi ni Ambassador, siya daw ang representative ng Interpol that day ng Pilipinas.
Yung pagpaalis mo pagpunta ho ng The Hague, siya po yung representative talaga ng Interpol. Kasi siya lang ho yung may connection sa PCTC.
But I was asking, who appointed him representative of Interpol?
Ano ho yan? Kasama ho yan sa kanyang appointment.
But he said before that day, hindi siya ang representative ng Interpol.
Pero ano ho ito Kasi yung overseeing function niya, oversight function, is, kasi parang may oversight po siya sa PCTC. I think that they took it from there na siya rin po yung responsible for the PCTC.
Wala rin sa executive order.
Kasi nga ano ho yan Sabi ko nga, magkasama ho dati ang posisyon ng executive director tsaka envoy. Si General Alcantara used to be the special envoy and executive director.
And then the representative ng Interpol.
Interpol.
And exercising oversight powers. Bago lang yun.
Hindi, dati ho isang tao lang nga
Wala Wala sa Executive Order 265. Parang above and beyond na sa...
Special ho yan.
Ma'am, just to point.
The executive has the power
when you signed dito sa ICC, you were signing as what?
As the Interpol NCB Manila representative.
Ang nakalagay po dito, you're signing as in behalf of the Republic of the Philippines, not as Interpol.
Kasi po nung that time, yung representative ng ICC na kausap ko, naka-print na po yung government. So,
sir, are you a college graduate?
Yes, sir.
No. Any college graduate, pag pinapirma ka tapos mali, kahit printed, you'd cross it out. Then you would put, so pag nakalagay doon, Alang Cayetano, congressman, pipirma ko o i-cross out ko yung congressman, lalagay ko senator. Kung nakalagay doon, Alang Cayetano, single, may asawa na ako, hindi ako papagalitan ng asawa ko, kung hindi ko i-cross out, lalagay ko doon na Diba? So wag tayo magpilosopohan dito. So why did you sign in behalf of the Philippine government if you weren't representing the government and you were representing Interpol?
Medyo mataas na ho kasi yung pagod na din kami. Tapos ang request ng ICC staff that time nagre-request sila na kunin na ng medical team. Hindi ho kasi ma-perform yung medical assistance to the former president. Yun ho yung dahilan yan.
Ang dahilan, pagod kayo?
Hindi po, nagkakagulo na din ho nun. Mataas na din po yung sitwasyon.
Pakisabi ng totoo.
Opo.
We are all under oath.
Yes, ma'am. Ang mataas na rin.
Paliwanag mong maigi, representative ka ba ng Pilipinas or representative ng Interpol? Pipili ka lang.
Nirepresent ko po ang Interpol NCB Manila.
So mali itong papel na to. Sabihin mo sa akin.
Yun hong...
Kasi nag-iiba. Isa sinungaling, isa totoo.
Yun clear ho sa ICC.
Pwede kong linawin lang.
Siguro hayaan muna natin. Hayaan natin na ipaliwanag. Alam naman niya
alam ho kasi malinaw ho sa pag-uusap namin ng ICC staff na I represent the Interpol NCB Manila.
Pero hindi maliwanag dito sa nakasulat. Government of the Republic of the Philippines.
It's part of the government, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Hindi, Interpol Sabi niya, nandun siya bilang Interpol
Ma'am, Madam Chair, yung Interpol po kasi, the Interpol NCB Manila, it's under the Philippine government.
Sorry, Mama. Kasi if that's your interpretation, then the government cooperated with ICC.
In the surrender.
Diba? No, I'm not trying to trap you. I'm trying to understand. Kasi nga, when you do something, you can do it in different capacities. So, international organization, yon. So, for example, Sarah here was the regional director for the International Organization on Migration, but she's a Filipino. Now, if she was special envoy nun, she has to say which one. Kasi one is a UN body, or at least a UN-recognized organization. The other one is Philippine government. So, di ba, hindi pwedeng you're signing. Ang problema kasi yung sabi mo, malinaw sa ICC at malinaw sa akin, Interpol. Pero ang pirma mo, in behalf of the government. Kasi ang masusunod yung dokumentong pinirma mo, hindi yung intention nyo eh.
Oh, sir.
If that is the impression that was delivered to you, ma'am, ang sa akin lang is, those are beyond my competence to answer. Kung sa tingin nyo rush yan, it's not rush, it's something that I have to do na talagang isakay lang sa plane because that is the order that was given to me. As to the other nuances of that order, I may not be able to answer that intelligently or competently.
Yes, baka may maidagdag si Ambassador Lacanilaw. Dahil nandun din kayo, may nakita ba kayo na dahilan kung bakit kailangan pumunta sa The Hague? Total, kayo ang madalas pumunta sa abroad at kinatawan ng Pilipinas. May dahilan ba kung bakit nagmamadali tayo?
Hindi po ako hindi po ako aware o competent para sagutin po yung ganon. Kasi ang sa akin naman ho, ang naging role ko lang yung nung nag-volunteer ako na samahan si former President Muta ICC.
Lahat tayo hindi alam ang dahilan kung bakit nung araw na yon kinailangan talaga isakay at dalhin sa Hague kahit may sakit, kahit may karapatan pumunta sa husgadong Pilipino, kahit hindi pa nakikita ang pamilya, ang doktor, ang abogadong pili, talagang kinakailangan dalhin na talaga sa The Hague.
Ambassador Lacanilaw, I find your answers very misleading eh. Kanina pa, yung sinasabi mo na hindi mo alam na hindi pala siya dinala sa competent court, competent judicial authority. Hindi mo alam. Hanggang ngayon, hindi mo pa rin alam. I'm giving you a chance.
Opo, ano po yung Mr. Senator, kung ano po yung nabanggit ko kanina? Yun po.
Nandoon ka the whole time, galing sa tube hanggang doon sa Villamor. Nandoon ka. Hindi mo rin alam, hindi mo pa rin alam na hindi siya dinala sa judicial authority.
Yes, Mr. Senator.
Hindi mo alam?
Yes, Mr. Senator.
So you're lying. You're lying. Madam Chair, I move to set in contempt Ambassador Lacanilaw.
Last chance, hindi mo alam if nilabas sa Villamor si PRRD? Hindi mo alam?
Hindi po, Madam Chair.
Okay, there's a motion to cite you in contempt. I have to affirm. There being no contrary motion, we uphold the motion to cite Ambassador Marcos Lacanilaw in contempt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm giving you the chance already kanina. Sabi ko nga, ayaw namin gamitin yung power to contempt dito, to cite in contempt, pero halata na nagsinungaling ka.
Nasa dokumento harap-harapan na po. Mahirap naman yung ganito, konting respeto po.
Again, may I clarify again, please? Ma'am, it's an extradition form. That's why the questions are answerable by another jurisdiction, but not our jurisdiction. So it's very hard to answer something that works in a different manner.
Hindi nga sir, ang tinatanong namin sa kanya is kung nandun man siya the whole time, hindi man niya, alam niya na hindi dinala si President Duterte sa isang competent court. Tapos sabihin niya, hindi niya alam.
Kaya
siya nga nagsabi na siya nag-oversee sa operation. Tapos hindi niya alam na kung dinala o hindi.
I hope we can reconsider the contempt citing because, sir, Kaya ho nag-suffice ang certification ng
Kanina pa
Prosecutor
kami
General.
nagre-reconsider, Secretary Boying. at
Pero
saka
kaya ho
kailangan
nag-suffice
po namin.
sa ICC, kaya tinanggap nila yung certification po ng DOJ is because under their system of government, under the system of the ICC, ang prosecutor is competent judicial authority. That's why it's very foreign to Ambassador Lacanilao. Hindi naman ho madaling malaman yan until ho pinaliwanag yan ni Justice Ascuna sa atin.
Mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para sa mga susunod na video updates. Maraming salamat po.